One of the challenges here is this is not really their busy season.
We could be in that 10K territory month one, month two for spends. You can run all the ads till the cows come home, and at the end of the day, if you don't spend time building a brand, it's the worst way of doing things, right? Like if marketing is your live or die, if sale comes through the front door, it's the most expensive way to run the business.
All right, so we're just basically having a strategy session today over a new client prospect. They're like a sister brand of one of our current clients, and we're pitching them everything it takes for them to go from where they're at now to where they want to go. And so Michael and I are just enjoying a nice cigar out back in the studio, and gonna deep dive on it and gonna bring you guys on a ton of value and insight into how we do these strategy sessions. And
every one of them is a little bit different. We do have a good amount of context. Before going into these, we have a discovery document that our clients fill out that gives us a lot of insight to their business, where they're at, marketing history, customer acquisition costs, lifetime value of customer. So there's probably a little bit more data collection behind the scenes before the conversation that we're showing today. Well, I think we start from the top, just looking at the brand as a whole, their product, right?
Yep.
We kind of brought up on the call. So I think one of the bigger challenges here, it's a high quality, high price product for their space. They're going to definitely need some source of validity to sell at that price point. They're not a very known brand.
Yeah.
So to move a high price point product, they either need value props to their product that are so strong it validates the price, which I don't think anything innately stands out there. So then we're going to need some type of validity, which we'll get into like micro influencer in a bit. The other struggle here will be they're going to have a low lifetime value, and not in a bad way, just that they have a super high quality product and it's a wearable product. So you're not buying one of these things every 6 months, right?
True.
You're buying one of these and hoping it lasts you 5 to 10 years. And they don't have a lot of SKUs to cross sell that are more repeatable products.
Sure.
So there's not a ton of opportunity in the brand to have like high yearly lifetime value. So long story short, we are probably going to have to figure out how do we get first purchase.
So for example, guys, their smaller items are like $29.99 and like $69.99, but these are things you're probably going to buy and have for a very long time. Like my dad has some of these items, and this is, by the way, in the outdoor industry, so like hunting items and stuff like that. And the issue is here, what he just explained, it's not necessarily an issue, I guess, but it's like you're going to have these for a while. My dad's had, some of his backpacks for 10 years. So obviously they might come out with more, but we're working with like only a handful of SKUs basically, if that makes sense. I think where we want to start is let's go over kind of review what they're not doing, or I guess what they're currently doing, and then we can do what they're not doing. So currently I think they talked about, they have the website people we could work along with. Yeah. They have a few ads up and running, but that's like not anything we can really work with. You know what I'm saying?
And then they're doing all the like collaboration partnerships with all those people they're paying,
Yeah, right here. So they're paying that one brand 5 to 7 or 8K a year.
Yeah.
And a bunch of these, and we might need to cut those.
That's definitely going to be the advisement. I mean, after looking through all those pages, they're not moving products.
Yeah.
Posting with those people. It happens a lot, guys, with like collaborations with no names in the industry is, they can add a little bit of brand validity, but a lot of the times it is not worth what they charge. A lot of the times, you're overpaying for some influencer to post on your behalf, and it doesn't really bring much actual real revenue to the business. You'd be better off spending that money either on the business, micro influencers, or some type of other sales incentive-based campaign. So that's the other thing too that I think is important in the information they gave us. Their current spend is $3,000 a month. That's very low.
Yeah.
If they want to, they're a new brand and they need to make an impact in the industry. $3,000 a month in spend is going to be really low. So I know initially the discussion was around potentially pulling back all those large sponsorships and putting that towards like micro influencers. There should be a discussion there about sharing that, where, hey, let's definitely pull back those sponsorships. I don't think they're doing anything for you. You're not growing and you're paying these people, but then maybe splitting that a fraction of that to increase the budget, right? I'd love to see that monthly budget in that 9,000 territory on spend.
At least starting.
And then if there's leftover from that, we can do some micro influencer activation.
And the one thing I was going to say, if they're already in contract with these people, we don't want to let it go to waste. You already paid for it. Let's just try to get them to do whitelisting ads or something to see if there's any value. If it doesn't work, we just don't spend money behind it. But if they already have the contract, we could at least see, because I know we can't share the names, but that might be something. But I know this one you looked up, this brand right here, and that's not worth it at all.
No.
Because their social media gets like no traction.
Yeah, like huge follower count, but 90 likes on a post.
Yeah.
It's just not doing anything for them.
So we got that. So we need to basically
let's make sure though we get the full ins and outs, because we breezed through that call quickly, and I have no clue if maybe a part of that contract is like they get mentioned in their email blast.
Yeah, that's
things
true.
like that. So
Okay.
let's make sure we look at everything that sponsorship package provides before we recommend that.
Another thing was like they're doing mainly studio photography, and their ads are pretty basic, and the website is it's fairly well put together, but they could use some more videography and like some of the higher end stuff we do in our studio. But they're gonna need to get into the hands of a bunch of creators in the outdoors and get a bunch of different type of content. One of the challenges here is this is not really their busy season. I think people will shop it, but what we need to do is set up a 30, 60, 90, 120 day game plan or whatever leading up to as the season ramps up. We have the game plan, their website updated, their content done, and ads ready to launch as we go into that season. But it's not far away. Literally August is probably the first month of like, okay, people are really prepping for it. September, and then it starts. I think like in Illinois, like October 1st is like opening a bow season. So people are shopping 60 days out, maybe. I mean, some people will shop now, but you get what I'm saying? Like a month out, like definitely starting ads at least, maybe sooner. Cause I think like northern regions could start sooner. So we'll need to look at like when the actual seasons open up for their main products.
If we're thinking August is the ramp up, then what we should probably do is advise them. Like I'd pull back marketing spend for all of July. Let July be, hey, we're going to completely redo your content flywheel, get you the actual content you need, not this like studio produced stuff, but things that are actually going to drive views and clicks and action from an advertising perspective, and then have them double up their budget into August. Be another way to, realistically, from the sounds of it too, they said they have a little wiggle room there. If we save on sponsorships, save a full month of spend, we could be in that 10K territory month one, month two for spends.
Yep. Correct.
Now, the other thing that's going to be an issue, we got to figure out if they're going to be able to keep that team for CRO and website work. I do not want to send $10,000+ of ad traffic to a site where nobody's monitoring and making changes. We've played that game a million times.
It does. I mean, at least the notes I have here are the existing agency handles the website, and the email, but I don't know I don't know if they're actually like CRO or anything. Okay, so we have the base of like what we got to do. We have a kind of a big goal too to hit, how we ramp up to that, and what they're not doing.
Where are they at on organic content? What's are they doing organic right now? Are they?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think so. Like the last video was posted like in December. We're going to have to advise on like they need to get organic going. And maybe that's where we start now. 1 month in, a bunch of organic push, or at least advise them to do it. Because remember, some of the things we're advising, we might not take over.
Yeah.
So they need to get the organic going, and then that's going to help get that started. And then we have the full ads launch before the season starts and hit it really hard. And they're going to want to have money set aside to hit it pre-season and beginning of the season when people are going to spend most of the money. And then there's a whole nother thing that we need to basically have content creators in mind that we want. So when it is the season, they have product they can film for this year, for next year and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, for this to work in the long run, we definitely need to work with them on brand. Like we know this, so you can run all the ads till the cows come home. And at the end of the day, if you don't spend time building a brand, it's the worst way of doing things, right? Like if marketing is your live or die, if sale comes through the front door, it's the most expensive way to run the business. So I definitely want to offer them some type of consultation package on here's what like a 12-month roadmap from the organic side would look like. Here's the players that you would need internally. We can definitely give them ideas in there in terms of concepts we think they should be creating for the business, how to execute those, even as simple as like posting cadence and framework. But we do need to give some level of expectation to them that, hey, you should be building a brand. And here's what brands that are winning in our portfolio are doing right now on a weekly basis. I think we need to make it as simple as possible just for the size they're at right now, right? So we need to keep our requests very organic, iPhone, just very basic, because anything's better than we're June 5th, not having posted for 6 months.
They're playing against the big dogs. So, I mean, these products, there's only a few that I think that really stand out that are different. Like some of these are like not different in the sense of like, they're not anything new. Now, some of these are very unique, like this one right here. It's definitely more unique. And this one, like the fact that you can fit all of that into one backpack, find the ones that are gonna be like, oh, get people's attention. Because if you're just another backpack or another item that most people already have, if you don't have anything new about it, or it's not some crazy offer for them to wanna buy, then it's gonna be hard to break into that. So we need to study like which ones of these or what's their best sellers. I don't think we got that on the call.
The other thing we need to revisit too is there any, I didn't get anything off the first call, but is there any type of brand story or founder story that we're missing here? I didn't hear anything that really stood out, but is there something in how this brand came to be strong enough to be the base of their organic?
Actually, didn't he say?
Yeah, he told us like how they basically merged and everything and how he ended up being on this, but he is one of the founders. But
Here we are.
you know,
Let's see if this has it.
I want to know if there's something like, hey, I designed this backpack because as a kid I was tired of my backpack failing on me when I was, you know, out in the middle of the woods and the shoulder strap would break, and now, you know, something. Now where we're actually going to be like doing the work. I think at their current budget, they have to pick one platform to play on and be extremely good at that platform, right?
Okay.
While I understand,
We know that's not TikTok because of the price.
well, I understand some brands are like, or 10K is a lot of spend to some brands. It's a drop in the bucket in the world of media buying. So I think Meta is going to be their go-to. I think until they show like an expert level of results on Meta, traveling anywhere else, unless the only thing that can change my mind on that is if when we get this information from the other team that's currently running the ads, unless they're getting some crazy result on Google that we missed, but I doubt it. Obviously, we know this. Content volume is going to be king. We need to ramp that ad account to over 100 video assets as quickly as possible, which is another argument to, hey, let's not run ads in July and let's just log content. Especially if we go with a micro-influencer campaign, we should be able to get well north of that number.
Yeah, we can do that for sure.
And then in micro-influencer campaign too, right? He kept bringing up that term on the call. I'm sure in his mind's eye, it is probably a, hey, let's go find 10 influencers with 10,000 followers and pay them all $500 a month to start posting for us. I would almost just like to see it done through Tribe.
In my mind, for this type of product and the audience that I feel like usually buys, like people like my dad and people that I saw, there's another brand that we both know of. I'm not gonna mention the name, but the videos that I remember them saying did really well is them sitting there in front of a camera, not over the top, and just being like, here's our newest design.
Yep.
You can fit your bow here. You can do your arrows here. This can hold your XYZ, all these different pockets. And someone's like, oh my gosh, like I need this. And it's simple, but it's just showing like everything about it in a very easy to way. And we have like 20 different people do it their own spin-off way, and we run those. I think those could perform, because if we just go outdoors and do a hype reel about the product, I don't think it's going to do the justice. Now, it doesn't mean it's not good for like a certain part of the funnel or for the website and stuff to like help them convert, but
I completely agree. I think another thing that we're going to have to convince them on out of the gates is let us activate these like 20 to 30 influencers on Tribe. I don't mean this in a bad way, but close your eyes and let them make content and let's launch it and see what's working. I think it's very clear they have no idea what is working and they're not spending enough money to quickly find out what is working.
that's true.
I watched a quick little Instagram thing this morning. It was a guy breaking down Bloom, of all things. We've been talking a lot about Bloom lately. And he was reviewing their content volume that they launched on TikTok. By no means is he like on the inside of the brand, but he said from what he can see, it's very clear that they are willing to just launch anything. He said their variety of concepts is
just ridiculous.
Almost so high that it'd be very hard to argue they're like writing this many scripts and stuff. It seems as if they are onboarding all these influencers and basically just saying, here's a product, make content. Here's a product, make content.
Which, I mean, when you have a product like that and there's just like, how do you, that's awesome.
So that's what
cool.
I want these guys to get on board with. So if we get these, you know, let's say we grab 30 people off Tribe and get them.
Yeah. Well, I think the cool part is
content.
with them having nothing and with the trust we built with the sister company that we will have that privilege to just let us do this. And I think that's how we got to build this, man, is like, let us take over this with the resources you already have on your team. So there's certain things you don't need to go hire because you already have it. Here's what we need to do. Here's what we can do. And here's like everything else we need to go get or you guys need to get. And we can help you source it. But I think we put that into a package and truly become like their kind of brand partner in this.
I still need to work through the customer acquisition cost sheet. Something we do for all of our e-commerce clients. We have a customer acquisition costs model that we run, which basically just takes into like all your known costs as a business, overhead, cost to land the product in your warehouse, cost to ship the product, commissions, basically takes all the ins and outs of your business and then spits us out a model that says, here's your high-low ranges of what you should be willing to spend to acquire a customer and then to make back or profit on your investment over X amount of months, which has to the start of this conversation. It's harder on brands that need to purchase one profitability. But what we really need to do is run the model, get the number,
Yeah.
and then probably come to an agreement on starting higher than that number, right? Let's just say they need to acquire a customer at 125. Hey, are you willing for this first phase to be closer to a break even on customer acquisition, even though there's not a lot of lifetime value to these guys, just for the sake of allowing the machine to keep going and testing?
Yeah.
Right. If we can even get concepts to a break even, because again, they've got nothing that's winning right
Absolutely
now.
nothing. And you have no customers right now buying again,
Yeah.
really, besides your D2C or your wholesale.
So before we launch any AI, we just need to come to a very agreed upon, here's the initial goal, CAC. It might not be the end goal, but here's the initial goal. If we can even get here, it is a step towards proving concept and light at the end of the tunnel that, yes, you can acquire customers through these channels.
Yeah. Well, I think we have our marching orders. The coolest part is a little hack is not only filming these videos, good for just bringing value, and what we're doing here at Brotherdale is part of our Brotherdale content machine, but we can take the audio we just both got and plug it into our co-work system and say, hey, because I already have right here, the reason we're looking at this computer, I already have the call breakdown from Gemini. It has the notes and the transcript of everything. And then it shows what we talked about because he already provided a bunch of value on the call, and it picks up everything the guy that we're in Connect with said. And then I'm going to feed it this and say, okay, now help us build the 6 to 12 month roadmap based on what we said, because you're already doing the work. You're just using AI to help you do that monotonous work of like putting this into there. Now we still like to write stuff down, Michael and I, to like visualize it, but that's a little cheat code of like, even if you're not trying to do your own content, like record what you're saying or the conversation so you can feed it to the platform.
Right now, you've probably already covered this in the other videos, but we have a like morning debrief that goes out to us from our co-work. Basically tells us like our priorities for the day based upon like our email and conversations and Slack and our Monday.com CRM. And we're going to start implementing this and that as well, right? So where it's right now mainly giving me marching orders based upon conversations that I'm having inside my communication channels. We're also going to then start feeding it audio like this, and it's also going to be able to track that and send us, hey, you also need to do this today due to yesterday's conversation that you had, which is awesome, right? We had oftentimes say so many great things, and translating that into actionable items on paper can sometimes be a challenge at scale. So just being able to talk and that be the end all be all, and then the system itself grabs it and tasks, it's awesome. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Anything else you got on this brand?
No, man. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. I think ultimately, like if I had to do all this in one big synopsis for the size and scale that they are, right? It's a lot lower than what we normally take on. And it's the relationship with the sister brand that has us, wanting to go forward with this. I think just helping them get bare bones infrastructure into the business is valuable enough alone for them to get started with us.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, they leave this relationship understanding all the levers they should be pulling organically as a brand, everything from organic content, storytelling, how to properly set up educational like email text flow, how to increase back-end customer lifetime value. Like we get that infrastructure in place through advisement. So that way, whether we launch an ad campaign or not and we're off to the races, they understand the day-to-day of, hey, this is what we got to do as a brand regardless if we want to see brand and market share grow.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're a brand that's watching this and you're like, I'm not sure I can work with these guys, I can't afford them, just reach out anyways, because what we do, like he just mentioned, we point brands, companies, whatever, into the right direction. So if we're like, hey, we're actually not ready to work together yet because you need to get all these things in place first, that's what we advise. And that might be a part of the 6-12 month game plan is the first 3 months, you need to go build up all your organic, all of the XYZ. And then this is when we're going to come into play with all of our creative and everything expertise and then launch it. Or we're part of that process in making content to help with the organic or whatever. But I just wanted to put that out there. Like, don't ever feel afraid to reach out because we're down to help people and give advice because we're literally giving you a game plan and advisement. We would rather you have the right steps in place from decades of experience than just us try to take money from someone when they're not ready yet.
Yeah,
and we learned that after years of like trying to help all these people start from literally nothing to grow a brand. It's way harder than people think.
And we have a lot of partners we refer out to as well, right? That can suit, hey, maybe if it's not right time, right place, maybe if, you're not at the size we need you to be at yet. We have great partners for a decade of doing this, close to now. And don't get me wrong, when I say referring to smaller partners, some of these people are just as good, if not better than us, but they're leaving like a CMO position and they've only ever worked in like a corporate structure, and now they're actually getting out and building their own thing. A lot of people, there's a lot of small boutique agencies out there that are at a lower cost but have some really great minds on the inside. Now there's probably going to be more work on your side that you have to do internally with your team, but there's still a lot of great people out there with tons and tons of knowledge that we refer out to constantly for scopes of work that just don't either fit our size or they're just outside our skill reach, right? We stay very defined in the project types we take on. We don't try to branch out like we used to and say yes to everything, which has helped us tremendously.
Yeah.
So yeah, worst case scenario, we're probably just going to send you an awesome referral that probably will work out for you. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you enjoyed the video, let us know. If you didn't, let us know. We're just putting out value out there, and if it works, it works. But yeah, that's a however long breakdown that was of kind of this. We're going to do way more of these. And in the future, hopefully we have a lot more data that we can like share and like a little more nuances. But this is a very early on, and maybe we'll have a follow-up video of like where we're at in a couple months or
yeah. And we'll do some more of these in the future too with clients that we do have the permission to like very openly talk about their name and numbers. We've got some in our portfolio that are very happy for us to share their stuff. So we'll do some of these in the future so we can really show blood, guts, the inner workings of what we do on a monthly basis. So
sweet.
Awesome.
See ya.
Later.